Hello and welcome back to Dice Dropping Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game.
We're
Once
back
again,
to our new
Smooth jazz.
ASMR.
yes, once again we're a little calmer, a little chiller this session. And we're going to kind of pick up where we left off. Henrik.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, you are. Hello. Welcome to the
Song of Ice and
program.
Fire.
Yes.
Thank you. Long-time listener and player. It's an honor.
So you've just had a very unique experience.
Unique's a good word for it.
Yeah. You had a strange vision, which was then explained, not really explained, but sort of explained to you. Because no one knows. But
Explainer didn't know, so
But they
I'm
did
getting secondhand info
assure
from
you.
that.
They did assure you are not alone, and that there is a method to discover more.
Then offered to stab me, so that was
Yes,
great.
they did. They asked if you want some blood, and you're just like,
No. This is I'm wearing like a very nice, like the inside of my half cape is white, and there's a chance it could stain, and I really just would hate that,
It's not good,
This is a new one. Yeah.
So you are of course tasked, to rejoin the party.
Finally, Henrik and me are the same person. I want to rejoin a party. Damn it.
I suppose you can do whatever if you want to go hide in your room all day, you could.
No, I gotta be a good host. Plus, also it's a party. It'll take my mind off of it.
Exactly.
I can't get drunk yet, but I can get drunk off of feelings and having people adore me.
I mean, technically speaking, you could get drunk right now. As you go down the hall, you come into the main hall, and there are about 30 lords who are quite drunk.
I'm definitely gonna start pre-gaming. I'll say that, for sure.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
No drinking age in Westeros.
There's not.
If you can reach,
of course not.
It's just like it.
Yeah, of course. It's the healthiest thing for you. What are you gonna drink? Water?
Water.
What are you, a fish? No, you'll get a disease and die on the toilet.
Or you can drink blood tea.
He is okay.
Yeah. Thorsten randomly bursts out at dinner tonight.
He just poked his head up.
And it was like, Thorsten, why'd you say that? And you're like, what did I say? What?
I said nothing.
Milk of the puppy. Henrik, as you come back down the tower, you enter the main hall, you see, several lords who are just discussing. You see your father leading a discussion in something. It seems like maybe they're like redoing some of the battles the Targaryens lost. And they're just talking about what they should have done. And
are they
the Reach weren't involved in those fights.
Old war stories. I'm like, when my men were there, I would have had that done like 2 weeks. Man, a
little bit. They're kind of recounting. It's less a bragging thing, and it seems to be more of it's like a mind game thing, right? It's a game essentially. These are the formations, right? Because they have like the battle information. But your dad is leading the discussion. Because, of course, the Reachmen weren't in those battles. All the battles the Reachmen they won.
Damn right.
So they're just like, if we were out here, we're just... So they're just kind of talking about that. You kind of walk past that. Many of them incline your head.
Going, grab some wine. Just yell wine like my mom does, and it appears in my hand. Wine, yes.
You just like wine. It just enters your hand.
Yes.
So you've got some wine. And you are you heading toward to the garden where the predominantly of the events are happening,
Would
Or
like to be
are
out in the
you-
public, I think. Yeah, be
All right,
out,
cool.
people outside, not on a roof would be good.
Not on a roof. This is good. Yeah, you exit the back of the hall, at the side of the hall, into the garden, and you look down on the sloping events. Many people are beginning to gather around the pitch. It looks like the joust is starting.
In that, I think I sit on. I was like, I think I'm in that. Yeah. Okay.
You can't. You're not. You. I don't know if you wanted to be in it, then maybe, but you don't. You're like, it's my party, so I guess you can kind of do whatever.
I'm trying to figure out if I should say I was signing up or not. So it's like,
as you're kind of standing there trying to remember as like drinking wine, you suddenly kind of hear off to your left, like, oh no, it's like not too bad of a problem you're trying to work out, is it? You turn left. Yeah, you see Scarlet.
I think I like almost spilled some of my wine. That was not who I was expecting. Okay. Oh, my lady.
You all right?
Forgive me. Accurate. Sorry, bit of an event a couple moments ago, and it was a little rattled. But all right, trying to take my mind off of it.
She immediately comes up to you and be like, "Are you all right?" And she speaks very quietly, her eyes filled with concern, but her face smiling.
Oh yes, I'm fine. It's more to do with stuff with my family than me directly, but just had me worried for a minute. Should be all right though.
She goes, "Oh, good. Well, I hope. Well, it seems to be enough of a problem to spill wine over." And she seems to pull a handkerchief out of a sleeve, perhaps.
Out of mine.
And she pats and she dabs at your face, with it, and she goes, and she just smiles. She goes, "There."
Like grab as her hands, like I'm so happy you're here though. You came. It has to see you.
Well, you invited me, and she kind of, touches your arm. And goes, "It would be quite rude of me to not show up."
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but
and she smiles.
You are the picture of courtesy, so I wouldn't have expected any less.
Courtesy? Well, I suppose that is a compliment in a way. Is that all I'm the picture of?
No, but that is the best I can come up with now. As my mind is still a bit foggy. Don't worry, I'm sure.
She nods.
As we spend the day, I'll think of plenty of other things that I can compliment you, and they will all be true.
Well, I suppose I could allow that. And she smiles, and she immediately puts her arm under yours, and links it with yours, and kind of begins to walk a bit. She goes, "I think I heard a few moments ago a rather short well-fed woman screech your name."
You think that would narrow it down. But...
I do believe that a claim was that she was your grandmother.
Oh, that lovely, yes, well-fed woman would most likely be my grandmother. Yes,
that would be of your mother's mother, then. Yes, because your father's mother is dead, I believe.
Yes, for a while. My mother's mother is the only grandmother I've known. Oh boy, I should. That means I'm expected, and then I've already done something wrong. So, Fun.
I was like, I could be an excuse if you'd like.
You do make a lovely distraction. Unfortunately, though, with my grandparents, I feel that distraction may some sort of implications, and I don't want to bother you with that.
I was like, oh no, it's truly no bother. Like, but I know you probably need to speak with him, but I can allow me to be your excuse for not being able to be found for a moment.
My lady, you are too kind and clever.
She just,
God damn it! All right. I have to do an intrigue with Grandma. I swear to God.
Yeah, you see approaching. You first see you see your grandmother in her kind of lady's habit and flowing like dress and harsh face, and she's smiling very brightly, her face red from the effort of walking the 100-odd feet to you. She calls out, my boy. Like my young man, I suppose. She's come before you, and she's like, allow your grandmother to see you. And a lot of people are turning and looking. You then see coming up behind her, well, obviously much taller than her, your grandfather.
One day I'll get that tall. One day.
Anyway,
I can feel it. Yeah.
Aspirations.
It's gonna happen. Second gross for it's gonna happen.
And you see him smiling at you, and you can't really tell on your grandmother because most of her features are always hidden in makeup and all that. But you can definitely tell. This is the first time you've, I think, been able to tell that your grandfather looks older. He looks like age has hit him more, where before your grandfather had sort of like a very intense stare, looks much softer, more tired, and he just seems like older, and you can tell his walk is different. Seems age is definitely affecting him, and he just smiles very warmly at you. He doesn't say anything, he just smiles at you, kind of inclines his head. She goes, Henrik, I think, oh, my boy, Henrik, who is this? And she gestures to Scarlet.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. Sorry for give my manners. Grandmother, this is, Primaris. Like, what was her family name again? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. This is Lady Scarlet Primaris. Forgive me, I was escorting her through the garden.
Primaris. And she kind of looks at Scarlet, and Scarlet just smiles. It goes, I think, yes. And I think, don't worry. I think, my lord, I know who this is. This is Lady Adafel. It is lovely, I think, to see you. We met very briefly when I was a young girl. I don't know if you recall. I was much more shy back then. But it is lovely to see you here, and I do apologize. I know you must have been looking for Henrik, but I had, in my selfishness, wished to see certain aspects of the garden, and he graciously, showed me around as a good host. I normally would have volunteered to walk on my own, but I will tell you, Lord Henrik would not have it. He said a lady should not be unescorted, and
especially a lady as fine as yourself.
She laughs. He goes, my lord, you are too kind. And your grandmother kind of like looks in between them, and goes, well, of course, my grandson, only has the best intentions, raising in demeanor that a lord Well, I suppose anywhere would have. Isn't that right, my boy? God, you're so tall now. Look at you, a proper man. No beard
Stand up
yet.
a little bit straighter. Okay. Yeah.
He goes, no beard either. That would be your. I think that would be your grandfather's blood. That would be your grandfather's blood on you.
Right back down. Okay.
Your grandfather also doesn't really have a beard. Your uncle, his son, doesn't really have a beard.
Yeah, I know. It hurts. It's nothing wrong with it. Just, I want one.
Your dad has a glorious beard.
He does. It's something small. God.
It goes, apologies for that. Well, I don't want to interrupt anything. How do you two even know each other?
Oh, well, we met at the tourney in King's Landing.
Of course, King's Landing. I think you did so well in that tournament.
I had good training, and I think most of it was just me being lucky, to be honest. I still can't believe I made it as far as
nonsense. You have, your brother. Oh no, that's not your brother. Sorry, age gets to you first, darling. No, yes, your uncle. Was skilled. In battle. It's in your blood, and obviously that has shown through. I heard your brother didn't do so well. Is that not right, Lady Scarlet? She goes, he did well. I think he did well enough for my own liking, but he did not win. If that's what you mean, my Lady Adafel, you were informed correctly.
He placed the same as Question. He placed in the semifinals like I did, though, right?
Yeah, he made it to the semifinals.
Yeah.
He made it. He was he lost. You met one kind of past him, essentially.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I was I thought her brother did quite well. Her and him and.
But you did better, did you not, dear?
Again, I think several factors went into that, but
Oh, he's being modest. He did fantastically, didn't you, Lord Henrik? True signs of a true knight, wouldn't you say, Lady Adafel? And he goes, I would say so. Humility is important, I suppose. 7-pointed star says we should be humble. Though that doesn't mean our relatives can't be humble for them. I am so excellently proud, and I know you will love your gift.
If it's from you, I'm sure I would love it anyway, Grandmother. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Yes. And Scarlet goes, and Lord Adderfell. I don't know if you remember, but I believe your father, my father, and you fought together. He goes, we did. I think we did, Your Ladyship. I think you were quite small then. I think I'm very interested to know the story of you were acquainted at the tournament. A lot of entries happened there. How did you come to speak? He's kind of looking at you, Henrik.
Oh. Well, it seems the seven saw fit to put our paths together, and sort of by happenstance, actually through Lady Scarlet's brother, we met. I met up with him on the field practicing for the tourney, and he introduced me to his lovely sister here.
I see. Yes, Henrik has made me feel very welcome at his home, and we had spoken briefly during the tournament, and my brother and he definitely seemed to gain friendship, and I'm glad to see, glad to be here.
Oh, and Saxa, you must talk to Mariella again. I know she had some new. Yes, her.
Your sister's. The demand for your sister's attention is great. I was hoping to meet up with her as the sun got lower in the sky. but I assure you, I'm sure we'll talk. Yes. So your grandfather goes, well, I'm good to see that you have your mother's skill at making friends, Henrik. I wanted to say I'm very proud of you. There's no right that a young man of your age should get gotten as far as you had, and if you feel any disappointment for not winning the King's tournament, you shouldn't. The warrior truly blessed you, and after all, I mean, you got farther than your uncle.
It would appear so. I just hope, though, that next tourney and next fight I'm in, I do as well. Even better if I can. I just hope to improve still.
That's all we can, ask of you. You're lucky you weren't. Something awful didn't happen during that tournament. Some young man of your age. It's generally not right, but obviously your father knew that your skill was enough.
Flashback to me getting tortured the day before the tourney. Yeah. No, my family took quite good care of me. I was very safe, and everything leading up to it was it was a good experience overall.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. And he puts a hand on your shoulder. I think you do. I think you do us proud. I think. And they goes. My dear, I believe. Let us go inside and get more shade. What? Oh, I suppose.
Well,
I suppose we'll speak later, Henrik.
I hope so. Have you has my mother and father greeted you yet? Do they know you're here?
They have. They greeted me.
Good.
Your father had the decency to greet me at the door. Your mother apparently was too occupied.
She is very busy, and she likes to keep on top of things herself, and just
too busy
around
for
party.
Her own mother.
I'm sure no one could be too busy for you. I think she forgot herself for a minute, but I'm glad she.
Oh,
still
Henrik, you're too kind. You're too kind, and she just kind of pats your cheek. Very well. I would like a cool drink in a parlor. And they kind of walk off, and as you walk by, your grandfather, as he walks by you, just looks down at you, and he winks at you.
I got a bro wink from Grandpa? That's so cool. Dude, it's like, so rad. Thanks, Granddad.
I love how
all of these grown men adult figures.
I love how utterly desperate Henrik is for any form of male
Absolutely.
Attention or
so true.
It's so good. I love it so much.
It could be because the Reach is a very female-centric area. It's like
it is. You get a lot of respect for women.
Everybody's got daughters, man. Barely anyone has sons.
Great, loves girls, but just really.
Yep. Grab a wink to you. Go by.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so Scarlet is immediately she kind of still looks at you.
Just grab her hand, Nelly, it's like, well, you're correct, and that was very clever. I thank you for that. You made that much more tolerable to get through.
I didn't really put it together until earlier, but I know the Adderfells. My family and theirs have never quite seen eye to eye.
Yes, I'm familiar with that. But
yeah, you see, my mother had gotten, before marrying my father, divorced.
I'm even shocked. Like, is divorce the thing?
Divorce is totally a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally a thing. But a lot of really religious people don't think that it's right.
Understandable. I was like, I guess.
A lot of people of the Seven-Pointed Star do not believe that divorce is a proper thing. But what with nobility, nobles are the ones who invented divorce, and it happens. It happens. It's happened before. It's not super common, and it generally when it happens, people talk.
It's one of those things,
it's a thing.
You divorce someone because they can't give you a child, sort of thing.
Yeah, so that has happened. It's been veiled in other reasons, but both parties have to agree to it, and if they do, then the marriage is severed, and lands are kind of split up. If there was like a child made from it, then they kind of it's a whole thing. It's messy. Divorce can be quite messy. I think, and ever since then, your grandmother seems to not think much of my mother.
That is unfortunate. I'm glad she was courteous to you, at least in front of me. I hope she continues to be that way.
I think the reason she was courteous to me was because of you.
Well, that is unfortunate then. I am not surprised, but
we are not our families, Henrik. It's all right. No need to apologize. So I heard, as she begins to continue walk with you, I heard you met Desmira Redwine.
What's her tone of voice when she's saying this? Is she like
excited?
Okay.
But if you don't believe her, you can try and make an awareness empathy roll.
I do, but I want to see if there's any underlying things besides excitement.
Sure, yeah. Go for it.
You know, I know these girls were like clawing to get to me and everything. I want like cat fights to break out. So yeah, you know how it be. Gotta get empathy. Gotta get that skill.
7.
Of my head.
Her eyes are really pretty.
She does have really pretty eyes.
Yeah. These beautiful sort of kind of cerulean blue eyes. And you're like, is she? Oh my god!
Oh my god! I could swim in those eyes. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
So
she goes, Henrik.
Fuck! Like Tony. I did meet her. She's a very interesting and fun person. I think not
Isn't
quite
she?
what I was expecting. But
No,
yes.
she never is. When I met her, we were girls. I don't even know how old I was, but she was so bold, so different.
Perfect. That's the way to describe her. Yes.
So many other girls from the Westerlands are well, not that. And I was quite shy when I was younger, and it was difficult for me to interact with some of the other girls. But Desmira, I remember because our families have shipping lane like agreements with one another to not affect one another and things, and occasionally that needs to be redubbed. So occasionally one of us is invited to a party or something, and normally we don't go, and sometimes we do. Anyway, business. But I remember she coming with her family to an event at High Ground, and she was so different, and she was so accepting and welcoming, and she smiled, and not the small, demure, sly smile of the court, a real smile, a big smile. She showed teeth, which is beyond my comprehension most days. And I got in quite a lot of trouble because I got covered in mud. But we've kept in contact with one another. And I consider her a friend. Though lately the red wine and Primaris families, there are contracts have sort of broken down a bit, and well, the Greyjoy Rebellion apparently changed things I'm not quite entirely aware of. So haven't gotten to see her in quite a long time, but I don't know where she is. But I heard you two were seen together.
Yes, she caught my attention and also challenged me to climb house to the roof.
Climbing to the roof?
Yes.
Did you engage in such a thing?
I mean, I have never wanted to refuse a lady or a challenge, so that was 2 strikes.
I think, well, I think Lord Henrik so bold.
I did win. She came very close to beating me.
Like, you won?
Barely.
Very impressive. Like,
I
she has been climbing for quite some time. And
yes, she said so. I think she knows more about ships than I can ever dream of.
Oh God, does she go on about ships? I myself don't know anything about them. I know there's a mast and sails and sailors, of course.
Too.
But that's all I know. But you beat her to the top then. How was that?
I guess like Desmira, quite exhilarating. And had quite a good view from up there. It was nice.
like I bet. So, what do you think of her?
Think so for a second. And now I'm watching it. Best friend. So it's okay. Won't get in too much trouble if I compliment her. What do I think of Desmira? Well, I've said she's quite charming, and I feel like she outpaces me in so many things. I can barely keep up. But it's also good sometimes to be pushed outside of what you're comfortable with. And she never made me feel like I was foolish in some ways, or at least I never got the sense she was laughing at me for being stupid, or she was laughing with me. So nice. Eric also liked her a lot, and I think he's a good judge of character.
So, yeah, when you kind of finish your statement, you look back towards Scarlet. She's kind of looking at you, and she's got a smile on her face, and her eyes look very focused on you, and it's a little like and she kind of goes, I mean, I merely was implying what you perhaps thought of her hair, but wow, Henrik, I do like the way you see people.
She also does quite spectacular hair.
She does, doesn't she?
Seriously. So many curls, but it's like contained, and
it looks free to me, is what I would say. My hair has always been so desperately straight, no matter what I do. But anyway.
No, I quite like your hair though, the way it is.
Thank you.
Like reach out to gently. a little bit.
Gently touch it. Yeah. You touch her hair, and she kind of leans her head a bit into your shoulder, kind of allowing you to touch it further. It just goes, I very much like the way you see people, Henrik. And I'm glad you could see her for what she is. Knowing what I have heard of what's going on here, have you been introduced to many other ladies?
I don't remember if I have. I don't think so.
No?
I've seen a lot of it. Unfortunately, no. It's been early in the week. I haven't actually been introduced to many people. I've sort of just been shown to the world and scurried off away. That's been about it.
Well, I mean, you are quite a spectacle.
I do try.
You do. She smiles.
She knows him. Okay. Oh, Mazzy, is your brother here?
Of course.
I'll go up.
Of course. I mean, where do you think we're walking towards right now?
I for once take notice of my surroundings.
Yeah.
Oh.
You walked quite past and through into the garden, and you're kind of walking towards the pitch, the jousting pitch. Vivienne, you of course interacting, talking with some of the high ladies and people, many people. You of course sat on a lovely kind of cushioned stool almost. It's not a stool. It's yeah, it's sort of, yeah. And that's of course drifted from the heat, and of course kind of on almost a built platform off to the side of the garden, so you can look down the rolling garden and see all, almost like a Roman empress.
Watching her
knows all.
I would like you to make an
awareness.
Thank you. Yes.
That's a word.
It'll be.
Hey!
The TN was 6.
Yes, by one.
Whoa,
this is why I have
barely.
people for this.
You look off and you do spot Henrik. You recognize his cape anywhere.
Ouch.
And you see him walking with Scarlet.
This is good. This is good. Right. Well, if there's one thing I never have to worry about with Henrik is to impress women, so good for him.
True.
All right. As you sort of get closer, Henrik, to the pitch, you notice Namora.
Oh. In the pitch or just around?
No, she's not in the pitch. She's on the kind of other side of it. She's dressed in what her nice dress armor and whatnot. After all, she is a knight now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Scarlet and Imora have met. Have they?
I've met her mother.
I know that's where Imora's mind is, but alright, just trying to introduce friends here. Imora, calm it down.
No, I'm just saying. It's just I met her mother. I don't want to meet her mother again. Her mother's terrifying.
Okay.
She'll be in your dreams.
Yes.
That's
not always in the good way. So yeah.
That's like a poisonous snake can be real pretty,
and
you really want to touch it because it's real pretty, but you know that you can't. It would be a bad idea.
The snake doesn't care, but yeah.
Yeah. And you see that Namora is sort of kind of looking at someone. And Nemora, we kind of go to you, who you've sort of been a little relieved of your duty. It seemed like, Mariella is literally surrounded by guards on all sides, and off to speak with parts of the family and whatnot. And you have been sort of instructed that you, as a knight, you do have the right now. Didn't really have it before, but you do sort of have the right to engage with people. It's kind of weird.
This is the first time that I've had I've been relieved of my duties in ever.
Yeah, it's weird.
And I've just been kind of just wandering.
Yeah, and so you wandered over to this sort of place where people know combat things. The only thing you really know, I
understand this.
You are currently looking at a group of young men who are just behind another young man. He's got long blonde hair that's pulled back into a ponytail, not a ponytail, but a tail, and it drips all. It's braided at the very bottom, and it goes down past his butt. The hair looks like silk, like it's been brushed 100 times every day. He's wearing this sort of red outfit, and he is sort of, you've been watching for the past 30 seconds or so of him basically be very casually insulted by Weiss. It seemed Weiss is standing there kind of off the side of the pitch in front of what Dewey, because you've seen it before, Laden Primaris' horse. Which is named Praetor.
Of fucking course it is.
And she's kind of standing in front of it, and you can hear them. He's just like, "What did you say to me, you foreign trash?" He goes, "Oh, sorry, She's talking very softly, very, very softly, but you can still kind of hear. You're not too far, and she's not her shoulders are fully facing him as if being confrontational, but her arms are almost cocked to the side a bit, and her head is down like this, not looking at him. So there is this weird body language going on that you've never seen people stand like this. It seems maybe the Barosi do it. You're not sure. And she's like, "Oh, terribly sorry, my lord. I do not. I think you probably have I think too much cum in your ears from your fellows here. I said, if you touch this horse again, I will break 3 of your fingers."
Do I know who this young gentleman is?
You could you could make me a breeding test, status breeding.
I'll try. It's just status for me, Jesus.
Well, you're not quite sure what his name is, but from his look, his clothing, and the bayards on his horse, you're pretty sure he's probably a lesser Lannister cousin.
Ah, fuck! I have to go rescue her. Shit. Okay.
You don't know who he is. He's definitely not from the main family. He's probably from a super distant. There's a million Lannisters.
Yeah, but there's this weird umbilicus that connects every single one of them all the way back to time.
I will say, Namora, you've broken the face of a drunk homeless Lannister before. There didn't seem to be much repercussion for you, but it was dark.
No.
name.
And this one isn't drunk or homeless. This one is nicely dressed at a birthday party.
He is.
Someone's going to miss him.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't threaten to murder him, just break 3 of his fingers.
It's been about a day. We needed some drama and some fight to break out at the twins' party, so yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Has he reacted to this last comment about the
He is sort of in disbelief of what he's hearing at the moment.
I never know.
He's not saying anything. He's just like, and like the guys behind him also don't really know what to do. They seem like confused. So 1 second. As you're seeing this, Henrik, you come up to Nymora. Nymora, you, with your height and your senses, you notice walking up to you is Henrik. And he has Scarlet on his arm. You recognize her.
I'm my lord. Hello.
Oh,
How are you? How are you enjoying your name day celebrations? As I'm like looking between him and then very quickly like looking back and then look back at him and then a couple seconds later just
Henrik completely oblivious. It is wonderful. I'm just so glad everyone is here and having a good time, and everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. And as the fight begins to break out,
You then hear him go, "You witless half-breed foreign trash," and he backhands her.
all right.
And she just goes, and she just like keeps that way.
All right.
we're going in.
This is my fucking household, and I'm not letting a fight start out on the grounds, no matter who's it's between.
What do you say?
No, I'm gonna walk up, and I'm trying to keep it casual, just like to Henrik.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I was saying to Henrik. Excuse me.
Yes.
So as you begin you do see you kind of all hear the slap and go over. As you begin to walk up, as she gets slapped, you then hear her go, "Oh, thank you, my lord. I feel very much in my place now. Do you need to slap me again?" And he looks bewildered at that statement, like utterly bewildered.
Threatening aura.
Yeah, you can tell he's definitely afraid of her. And she's yet to look at him. She's still just looking at the ground. And he then is like, he looks like he doesn't know what to do next. And he just goes, "Apologize for your words." And this is when you kind of come up. He goes, "Apologize." And she just goes, "Oh, of course, my lord. Like 1,000 apologies. If you feel my words aren't enough, you can hit me again." And he just goes, and then you walk up at this point.
Hello. Is there? I couldn't help but hear the ringing slap from all the way across the tourney field. Is there a problem?
And he kind of looks you up and down, and he goes, "Oh, by the gods, another one." Like,
I'm just smiling, just genially at him.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a House Weirlight like symbol on you somewhere?
Yeah, my dress armor, like my like fancy armor is Weirlight. Like it's got like flower pauldrons and shit.
Sure, gotcha. Yeah, I think he'll look at it and go, good. You serve the host house, do you not?
I am in fact their sworn knight. Yes.
Yes. And then he like seems to stop and think and be like, "Oh yes. Yes, I've heard of you. You're Sir Namira?"
Very close, Nymora.
Yes, it was something. It was something vaguely Valyrian sounding. I remember. Yes, well, I think. Well, I don't believe there's I think a problem. Is there? And she looks at me and goes, I don't believe so. But this thing insulted me dearly, and which thus insulted my house and my host, of course, inviting us to participate. I offered no such will to this bastard-born half-breed foreigner. I don't believe quite necessary, but I will require something more than words. And and she goes, as I said, you can hit me. Goes, no, I don't think. And he kind of looks over at you. I don't think violence is necessary at this point.
I look at Weiss and I say, now that I have heard an exhaustive list of his complaints from this side, my lady, I vaguely overheard that there was a complaint on your end as well.
I'm not a lady.
I just kind of keep smiling at her.
Yeah, she doesn't look at you. She's still looking down. And she goes, I was told by my lord to protect his horse. He touched his horse. I told him to not touch his horse, and that if he touched it again, there would be consequences. That is not what you said. You directly threatened bodily harm, and I was merely admiring this lovely horse. We are allowed to admire the horses. It is a part of the entire decorum here.
We admire with our eyes, we take with our hands.
And Weiss just kind of then fully kind of turns to look at you, Naimora, and she goes, we're fine. I've got this. She almost looks, she looks like she's, I don't know. Unless you want to look further, but yeah, that's what she says.
I'll give it a shot at looking further, because she seems annoyed.
Yeah, awareness, empathy.
Just awareness.
Well, that's definitely enough. That's 1 degree of success. She looks annoyed with you.
Mm-hmm.
She looks annoyed that you've interrupted whatever is going on.
Yeah.
You don't think she's about to attack this guy though.
No, I think she's going to continue to wage psychological warfare against him for some time.
Probably. That's probably what happened.
Then I hold my hands up a little bit and just say, far be it for me to try to save someone who clearly does not need any saving from one bastard half-breed to another. Wish you good day.
And she just kind of inclines her head and looks down. As at this point, she goes, very well. It goes, well, thank you, Sir Knight. And just kind of looks and goes, very well. I will accept your apology and leave in peace if you kiss my boot.
I step back and watch.
By the way, Henrik, you were watching this and
yeah.
And she goes, oh, of course, my lord. She then sweep kicks him, knocking him onto his ass and grabbing his foot up in the air, and then kind of stepping over one part of his leg, kind of putting him into a standing leg lock.
Mm-hmm.
And then she reaches down and just licks pretty fucking sensually his boot.
Mm-hmm.
The point where he looks shocked, but also really not sure how to feel about what's happening.
Yeah, how are his bros doing?
Something is awakened in him right now.
Step back and seem more They look like they have absolutely no idea how to react to this woman. And then after you did like a just very sensual look, she then just like, and then like reaches down, grabs him by the hem of the throne, and flips him back up, and then steps back towards the horse. And he just like looks around and then like dusts himself off, and then just walks away.
Yeah.
That was the smart decision, buddy.
Probably a wise decision on his part.
He walks past you, Naimora. And he walks past you, Henrik. It looks like he doesn't really notice that you are who you are.
You ever seen shell shock in a person before?
I'm just here for the show. It's when this thing all of it go down. Real fun.
Yeah, he looks like unabashed, and then she just like goes back to the horse, and then like pulls a carrot out and like very unceremoniously like sticks it near its mouth. And then the horse goes for it, and then it just pulls the carrot away from the horse.
Oh no! It's being mean to the horse.
And then she just like puts it back, and then she looks like she's now fucking with the horse.
Needs someone to mentally torture.
And then if you're still standing there, she kind of calls out and goes, "I think I've been in this business longer than you. I know how to deal with guys like that."
It was clear to me from the second that I saw you in the entry hall. Yes, but forgive a newly minted knight for trying to fulfill a knightly virtue.
No, and she just like told her like, "I won't forgive you." I heard you were tough, that you defied things to get where you are.
A necessary thing when you are a half Donish in the Reach, yeah?
Hoping you would live up to that reputation. Once again, pulls the carrot away from the horse.
Which reputation specifically? The one where I'm tough or the one where I'm defiant?
Either.
I'll be back.
If you would like to test my skills in combat, I would be very happy to show you.
She raises an eyebrow and then fully looks at you, and she's got those weird eyes that almost look like cat eyes, and her strange face tattoos, you realize there's definitely something in her hair that is like coloring it to something. She just looks so weird. And she looks so rough, which is the opposite of what her weapon looks like. And then she like lets the horse have the carrot, and she kind of like walks up to you, her steps making very little noise. And she kind of like comes. How tall is Naimora?
She's 5'10", I believe, or 5'11".
Yeah, she's definitely shorter than you. And kind of comes up to you, kind of gets really close, looking at your face, and she goes, "You have different eyes."
I do. The least notable thing about me, according to most people from the Reach.
She reaches up and moves your hair out of your face.
Let her.
And she goes, "That's your eye. Whose is this?" And she just like taps under your cheek.
Some asshole from 1,000 years ago. Who knows?
She kind of like looks you up and down. and she kind of like backs away from you.
Mhm.
She doesn't turn around. She just fully kind of backs away. And she goes, if you want to fight, you could meet me out here after sundown. You don't mind fighting in the dark, do you?
No. Not
Like,
at all.
good. Goes back over and looks at the horse, but she never turns her back on you,
Mhm.
which you feel is maybe some kind of weird sign of respect.
Are you a betting woman?
She turns and smiles and goes, every day,
Do you want to make it interesting?
always.
If I win, then you have to come out with me for a drink. Proper drink. Get absolutely shit-faced.
She nods. She goes, very well.
Hmm.
She nods. She seems to like that. He goes, okay. If I win, and she kind of, kind of comes up to you. Like, and she smiles, and she goes, then you have to give me your spear.
Hard bargain.
And then she goes, oh, and she touches your spear, not that one. And she turns around and walks back towards the horse.
Hard bargain indeed. All right. I will.
And by the way, you've just been there for all of that. Scarlet has also not said anything. And she's like, Scarlet just looks to you, Henrik, and goes, yeah, why? That's Weiss. She's been protecting me since I was a little girl.
They more similar for me and my sister as well. Hi.
Your Naimora seems very well spoken.
Seems very
She just pats your arm. And is like, yeah. I go,
yeah.
she is something.
I turn around, Henrik and Scarlet
We're just
like
walking
right there.
They're just there
5 feet away.
behind a fence, just kind of leaning on it, watching the other.
Namora's cheeks just go bright red, like as red as they can get.
An eyebrow raise that are like,
my lord, you are still there. Hi.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry. We weren't paying attention to whatever you were saying, Naimora. We were staring at the horses.
Oh, we didn't. Yeah.
Thank the gods for that. There's absolutely nothing that just happens right now. Absolutely.
And we didn't hear anything as well, so we were just listening to sounds of the party.
My lord Henrik, have I ever told you that you are my favorite of the siblings?
You know, I never get tired of hearing it, so.
My lady, I am so sorry to neglect you. My name is Namora Flowers. I am my lord Henrik and my lady.
I believe there's a sir in there, is there not?
She has been recently knighted. Don't be modest, Naimora.
I keep forgetting that it is there, to be sure. It is still so unbelievable to me. But yes, technically I have been knighted.
Really? Yes, I do recall you coming to the grand ball at the end of the tournament, newly minted as such. Congratulations on that. I don't believe I was able to give you such words.
I thank you very much, my lady, and I am pleased that someone of your standing remembers something as menial as a knighting of a bastard.
Well, perhaps I don't recall the knighting, but I do recall
much.
your performance in the tournament, and I don't think there are many ladies, my standing or not, who would forget it.
Thank you. I don't believe that we have been formally introduced, no?
I do not believe so. You have formally introduced yourself. Henrik, it's not proper for a lady in the
Of
presence
course.
of an escort to introduce herself.
Sir Namora, this is Lady. God, it does get a bit taken used to. It's good though. I like it. This is Lady Scarlet Primaris, and I believe you know her.
She grips. She does like a full like bow curtsy of the traditional. She looks because you've said formally introduced. She seems like she's being very overly formal. And puts it like a hand out to you, Mimora.
I do the thing where I like put, I do. You put one foot out and then you take their hand and you put it up to your forehead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, you do it. You go, yes.
You can do pancake.
And then she goes, and there we are, formality satiated.
Good.
And-
I am not so good with formality.
I think you're a right bit better than other sworn blades I know. And then you
What
just
I
hear,
there right now?
and then you just hear Scarlet from behind you, and you just see Weiss, and she just goes, "Yes, Weiss." It's just like all of like the music leaves Scarlet's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Yes, Weiss." She goes, "He's prettier than you told me."
Oh,
And she goes,
I look at
and she
Scarlet.
goes, and with that, I do recall I need to speak to my mother. And she goes, "I will see you later." And she just like turns and walks super fast away.
Oh.
Now that I've seen them separate, can I go up to Henrik, like from my perch of?
Sure.
She's seen all this from afar as Lady
Descends
I love
from
Scarlet
her
so much.
on.
I love Scarlet
Mhm.
so much.
Yep.
So,
Here, being surrounded by women as I always am. So
Mhm.
Yep.
All
As
day,
you
all
come back,
night.
yep. You see. Oh gosh, who's your guard, Vivian?
God, what is Micah?
yeah,
Thank
the
you.
cute-
Pretty much,
the Playboy one.
You're clanking
Yeah.
of Micah's armor from behind her as
Mhm.
your mother suddenly approaches you.
It's a very familiar clanking of armor. I know who it is. Yeah. See that face.
So
Ma,
what do you
you
say,
look
Vivian?
lovely. Hello.
Oh, thank you, dear. It's just something I put together. I didn't want to. It's not about me today. It's not. But I couldn't help but notice you were showing Scarlet Primaris around. I think I
Please.
also. You have to remind me because you remember I was poisoned, so it's a bit hazy.
Right.
Also, dancing with her at King's Landing? I can't quite recall.
It can be a thing that Vivian can
Those
bring
are
up for
two very
forever.
observant things that you just happen to notice, Mother. You are very
It's
sharp as always. It's
happenstance. I
I
just noticing. So,
um
Mhm.
it is. She is the same lady that I danced with, and yes, just nodding. I was like, okay. I was kind of I'm trying to avoid this for as long as possible. For my parents got involved. It was really nice beforehand. Fine.
no, she's not bothering you, is she? Like,
Oh,
I know
no,
you are.
she's-
I know you're being very kind to our guest. You always been that way. So I just wanted to make sure she's not bothering you. You're having a good time being in her company. Oh no, I
about
can't hear
myself.
you.
Oh no. Hello.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. It's like no, I very much enjoy her company. If she hadn't found me first, I probably would have sought her out. I I didn't tell you, but I assumed you invited the Primaris's, but I also invited her during the tourney, so I'm very happy she came.
I was wondering. I was so confused when I received their invitation, with the acceptance of their invitation, that they had already made plans on coming this way. I was perplexed.
Yes. Well, she is quite a lovely lady. She has also met grandmother and grandfather. So there's that. And
wasn't
great.
immediately scared away.
yes. And I was actually, well, they were quite civil to each other, so I think things went well.
Well, your grandmother would be civil to a fucking dog if you held it, so that's always good.
Ma, come on.
No, I'm just saying, your grandmother hates animals, but she loves you, so... No, that is not at all, that's not at all, don't misunderstand, that's not at all me comparing Scarlet to a dog. I'm saying that that's not a good measure, because your grandmother is blinded by anything that you do, because she adores you instead.
I do have that effect on people, so...
Back and forth between them.
But that aside,
Yeah.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
Okay, alright, I will. So, do you like her?
Just kind of eyeing my mother suspiciously, knowing my answer will seal something I don't know about. I do like her.
Mm-hmm. Because there's rumors I hear that you were seen with Desmira Redwine. So
I believe my instructions were, but not even to enjoy the party myself, which I am, but to make everyone, a certain few young ladies feel welcome to our house, which I've tried to do, and especially with Desmira. She's also quite a charming, interesting person. They know each other. They're apparently old friends, her and
ladies of high position always find a way of getting to know one another. But you didn't call Desmira lovely.
I didn't?
No. You did not. An oversight, I'm sure.
Yes. Forgive me. It would never happen in front of one of the two ladies.
And
courtesy.
Please, Henrik, if there's one thing you know how to do, much like your father, is charm a woman you're interested in. So there's no worry.
I excel at a few things, and this one things I'm most proud of, for sure. Is there any particular reason you were asking about?
There's tons of reasons why I would ask you about.
Of course, but any reason in particular this one time? Yes.
Yes. If you are interested in Scarlet Prime, there are things that I would have to do to ensure that you get what you want. Her mother is very particular about her children.
Really? Can't imagine what's that like,
I know.
It's odd. Alright. I do like Scarlet. I enjoy her company quite a lot. Or at least likes to look at me. So
well, why wouldn't she? You're so handsome.
Just mad when like a pinched cheek at this point. It's like
I want to, but there are too many people. Oh, I'm just gonna do it once. It's just so cute.
Mama.
I know. You're a man now. I know.
I cover my smile. It's just like,
And I know as a host, I am to sure all the guests, especially all the ladies attending here, feel
please
welcome.
If you decide, no. You can keep everyone happy. Don't give them too much. So if you do decide on Scarlet, though, be wary, because I would like to keep the Ashfords friendly. And that that Ashford girl is so nice, so it's a bit disappointing, but, I want you happy, dear.
Ashella.
If-
Yes. Mm.
I never noticed it before. She looks so good in purple. I didn't even envy.
Hmm.
You were saying, dear.
Well, there's many ladies here. I can't be sure, if I am to see all of them, and if find Ashella, of course, I will treat her with great courtesy. She is also a very fine lady. Oh, it burns me to say it. Even now, it's venom.
Well, dear.
But, Mother, if I have your permission to entertain Scarlet, because again, I do like her, then I would like to spend some more time with her, and I think being so in such far reaches from each other, this is a good opportunity for us to do so.
Excellent. You don't have to make a decision right away, but if you do, you'll have to officially announce that you're courting her, and then we'll have to politely put aside all the other noble ladies. We don't have to worry too much about the Ashford so much, because I hear that Ashella and your sister are very good friends. So if you let her down gently, then perhaps we'll be able to allow that friendship to continue on. Though I will have to do something about the red wines if you have no intention of marrying the red wine girl. So much to do.
Just kind of glance at Naimora, and I was like, help. I can't. I don't know.
Is there
the joust is starting, Naimora.
Excellent. My lady, I do believe that the joust is beginning soon.
Yes, I'm in it, so yes, I must get ready. That decision's made.
I will not keep you. Speaking of which, I have to keep your father from joining the melee. It'd be very uncouth for him to win his own melee event.
Well, my Lord Henrik, as you are in the joust, why do we not go and get you suited up?
Of course. I kiss her on the cheek and then follow Naimora quickly away.
By your leave, my lady.
He showed me affection in front of people. I would cry.
And just very quickly power walk away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. When you kiss your mom on the cheek, she has been drinking. All right. Excellent. Clarissa.
Hi.
Hello. Clarissa, it's a little past midday, and you are struck with a sense of utter horror because all of your paperwork is done.
Oh, God.
What does it mean?
Damn it. Okay.
You actually remember taking extra nights upcoming to this event to make sure you had enough finished in time, but then Nikathraus appeared. But you're done, and you look, you've searched the past 5 minutes for anything else of paperwork or something you need, and it is not to be found.
Damn it.
Okay, I have to go and interact now.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Ian's in a good
Can't
mood.
avoid the Artels and my father forever, I guess. So she'll, kind of forlornly look around, make eye contact with Birch, and just go, it's time to go.
He's just
there.
he's
I know.
up. He looks so excited.
Okay. We can go find the twins if you'd like.
Yeah,
I will.
he chuffs. And,
Yes. All right. We go. Outside.
You very slowly descend the steps. And enter the party. Where are you going?
Do I have an idea of where my father would be?
Oh yeah,
Where would he be?
wherever Tidric is.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Hmm.
Your dad.
Well, we're
like,
not.
Your dad loves Tedric.
Oh.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
You're
I'm
fairly certain he he would want Tedric as his son. Like you would.
Oh.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If he could swap us, he might. But yeah, I'm actually
Or
gonna go find.
at least maybe with your second sister.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go find my father because I want to get that over with first.
Gotcha.
I want to say my hellos.
Yep. You see him in the Great Hall. There are several men gathered around a table, and there are these haphazardly painted wooden figurines. That looks like there's this box and these several servants next to them, and you see just several of the Reach Lords there, and you see currently talking is of course Randall Tarley, and he goes, "Okay, so the the Northern Hoplites came in from the north, obviously. They came in here. Now they were flanked, of course, by Stormbreaker shock troops. Now, according to this, apparently the Targaryen, they look like they're going over some old battle. And some other men are throwing in suggestions about how to beat that scenario or whatever. And then obviously all talking about how obviously the Reach is just so much better at everything. And you see your father there. He's not saying anything. He looks like he's just watching. He's obviously in the group, but he's just watching the battlefield and looking up and nodding and whatnot. Looks like he's really trying to absorb whatever they're saying.
Yeah,
he has a glass in his hand.
I'll kind of walk up behind him and put his hand on my shoulder and say, "Father, it's."
He just kind of starts and turns and looks down at you, and he just finally goes, "Oh, hello, hello, daughter." Says very quietly and kind of turns and just next man, just some random man next to him, "Excuse me," and he's just "Nah." Keeps doing whatever they're doing. And he kind of steps away and goes, "Yes, yes, dear, what is it?"
I was just hoping to catch up. I haven't heard much from the
Yes, of course, yes. Yes, of course, absolutely. And he kind of just gestures, because you can't stand there and talk. That's crazy. You have to walk and talk. That's what nobles do. So it seems like obviously your father knows this castle, because he kind of gestures to a sort of outside sidewalk path area that probably isn't very well trafficked at the moment, and you guys are just kind of walking along it. And he goes, "Yes, well, the weather has been good to us, very much so. Hasn't done my good for the crops, not great for my my bones. I tell you that it's been too wet. But your mother is doing better. She takes walks sometimes. Sometimes I walk with her. That's nice. There've been, of course, developments and all kinds of other things happening. I don't know what you're interested in, but to be honest, I think I'm just feeling my my age a bit more, which is dastardly because I feel 27, but then sometimes I look in the mirror and I don't understand what I'm seeing. What were we talking about? And he just kind of turns to look at you, and there's definitely like a bit of a cloud in your father's eyes.
Perhaps it's a good thing that you're starting to slow down a little bit. I know you resent the sentiment, but you are still my father, and I would still like to see you well.
Yes, I suppose. But would you like it if you started to slow down?
Oh, God, no, but I am not as old as you, father. Not been through nearly as much.
I hope you don't have to go through half as much, but knowing your position, I'm sure you'll go through more.
I feel like I've almost caught up to you just from King's Landing alone, but...
Yes, I heard a bit about that, yeah. That's nasty business.
Very. I'm just glad I was there. But, you've talked to Cedric, yes, father?
Hmm?
Cedric.
Yeah, yes, I've talked to Cedric, yes.
Yes, and you clearly know about the book.
At that, he closes his eyes and stops. He goes, ah, I see. Yes, I know about the book. Yes, I know about the book.
They attacked the twins yesterday. I don't know if it was really an attack or merely that the situation has gotten so out of hand that they're everywhere the twins may be. But I need it.
I don't have anyone that can get it back. Cedric wants to go, which I will not allow. But I know it was just an offer to... I know what you're going to say. Shakes his head. I don't know why this... I honestly barely believed even in most of this. Just small degrees. Are they all right? I mean, they seem fine. I just saw Henrik.
Mariella is fine. Likely will continue to be fine. Henrik, on the other hand, is more susceptible to them, it seems.
Well, it's probably because he's the firstborn male. Whatever those things do, they like... From what I remember, they like men.
Oh, I wish it exclusively affected men. Maybe then I could hand all of this off to Cedric and wouldn't be in this situation in the first place.
I wish that too. Though I know you don't.
There. I'm going to talk to Claude. Cedric believes that if Claude is able to give us the money, we can get the book back.
Maybe. I don't think... Maybe. But Claude, while a skilled diplomat, has never had to deal with men like Flint. Flint is a different breed. He's from the old world. And now that Flint has it, I, I don't know if he knows what he has. I just don't want to go offering him money, telling him he has something. If my men were more willing, more... They all have children now.
Should I bring this problem to the Lord and Lady?
He
Finally?
turns and looks at you, and he goes, "You know how I feel about that."
Ursa's spine straightens, and she looks him dead in the eye. She
Yeah.
says, I don't care how you feel about it. They're my family's lands, too. You understand that?
Do you understand that there is a chance after this event there will no longer be our family's lands if we tell them? Tiedrick would understand, but Lady Vivian, I don't know if she knows, but I know what she thinks of me. I'm not a fool. And he listens to her. He trusts her more than his own reason.
But they're nothing right now either, Father. Like this? In shambles? I will not say anything until you give me the okay.
And he kind of puts his head down, kind of looks at you and just goes, "I will think on it." Which your father has never said before. Every other time it's the conversation is over.
Thank you.
Before I do this, I just want to make sure I just want to know all of my daughters are taken care of before I risk their position. And you are unmarried.
I am.
And I would feel better that if there would be no position to risk if all of my daughters were taken care of. I have no sons, so I'm fine if we lose our lands in saving them as long as my daughters are taken care of. I didn't want to bring this up in this light, but a man came and saw me, and he offered. He wished. He wished to marry you.
Wish to marry me? Are you sure?
Very much so.
Sorry, I find that a little hard to believe. I don't really know. I'm not sure who would want to marry me, Father. I'm not exactly the easiest person to deal with. You know this.
Yes, well, he said that he only met you briefly, but had heard much about you and was very impressed. And I mean, the match is, from my station, a good one, I suppose. And it's not like I've gotten any others.
Okay.
His name is Sir Robert Page. Yeah, Clarissa, you have literally never heard that name in your life.
Where did you meet him once?
Who knows? Well.
He's House Page is sworn to they're sworn to the Tullys, and apparently they were visiting your cousin, Dunstan. He was in his war room when you came in to talk to him several months ago. He said he was impressed of your sense of duty and of your beauty. He heard you had survived a attack of what are they called? The cats.
Yes, the shadow cat.
That's the one. A shadow cat attack.
How do these stories?
First, I heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
You were attacked by a shadow cat?
Oh.
Didn't bother to tell your father?
Henrik and Naimora took care of it just fine.
Do you also have children that I don't know about?
Ooh, don't think so. No.
I would hope you would know, of all people.
You know. Robert Page. That's very unfortunate.
He's
not unfortunate and marriage, whatever. But
he has lands in a castle. He's not a lord, but he's a landed knight. And he would take care of you. So unless you have another someone else in mind.
oh, first of all, I don't need taken care of, but I understand the sentiment nonetheless, Father.
You won't be a steward for life.
Yeah, the Weirlights feel otherwise, but
the Weirlights, not all Weirlights are destined to live long.
It's an upsettingly good point. I might have another option.
He looks surprised and then very skeptical.
Just give me until the end of the name day celebrations.
Very well.
And if I come up with nothing, I will happily be betrothed to Robert Page, if that means that you will let me step in.
Well. All right, then.
Thank you.
I mean, I would have given you longer, but all right, end of the name day celebration.
I honestly think I can get it done before then, so...
Like, you do work better when you are challenged. You always have. Could never just play a game with your sisters. Always had to have a winner and a loser.
Well, I can't help it that I'm better than all of them.
But Clarissa, you're lucky we're alone. Mwah. And he kisses you on the forehead.
Don't worry, I'll tell Catalina myself.
Like, all right. And don't say that around, and don't say that around your sister, even though it's true.
Thank you, Father. But yes, I will speak soon. Go continue with your war colleagues.
Listen, you say what you want, but Randall Tarley knows how to win a war.
What- who are you going to pass this information on to that you're gaining about war, Father?
He kind of looks at you and goes, "Never you mind that." And he will. He insists to walk you back to the main hall before he departs you.
Yes, have a good evening, all right?
You as well. Like your hair, by the way, it's escaping.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and she will leave him.
Mm-hmm. Excellently done. Vivian, you, everything, whoop, sorry, 1 second.
When computers have minds of their own.
It is unfortunate.
Am I poisoned again? I've been talking about
You've mentioned
the
a
wine
Primaris.
It was the wine this time. Someone's
It was.
They knew.
Right.
They knew. Yeah.
They knew.
If there was a way to get Viv, it's through her wine.
Yep.
Real.
Mm-hmm.
Why would anyone want to poison wine?
That would make it
Barbarian.
taste awful.
Fool. Barbarian.
Barbarian. All right. Yeah, so as you're sitting and talking with others, asking to join, like goes, my lady Vivian, could we perhaps have could I perhaps enjoy some time of your company? And you see Lord Baylor Hightower.
Oh, fuck.
High power.
Yes, immediately.
He comes and sits down next to you, and he goes, "Top-notch celebration. May I be so bold as to be able to refer to you as Vivian?"
Of course.
think
Because
then-
his name is Baylor Highgardener.
Yeah, Baylor.
Okay. Right. Only if I can do the same courtesy in calling you Baylor, or we still
Of
can
course. Well, of course, I insist. But as I was saying, top-notch celebration, Vivian. Phenomenal. A grand showing of Reach prosperity.
Well, you only get to boast to the Reach that your son has beaten the Viper in a King's Joust for
Indeed.
a couple. I feel I can squeeze this out for a couple of years. Might as well kick it off right.
Yes, I nearly beat my servant when he told me that news. I thought it couldn't have been true, but then I found out it was true.
Goodness.
It has made your son quite popular.
As indeed.
Yes. I'm sure many marriage proposals have come through for him.
Not yet, but I think individuals are sending or just testing the waters out first. I think Henrik is, well, enjoying the popularity right now.
Indeed. Now, normally, what with all the well, you know how the Reach is, all the daughters.
So many.
So many daughters. Don't I know it?
All in the background. Hi.
Utterly ridiculous how many daughters there are. But I always found that our houses, well, the Weirlights, he kind of looks at you, and the Hightowers have had the most beneficial of most relationships among the Reach. I mean, what with everyone else just sort of suckling from the teat, though a sweet teat it is of Highgarden. Like you don't mind if I speak candidly, do you?
Oh, please. It is a refreshment.
I think I've heard such things of you. I imagine after a woman survived being poisoned, very few things can phase her.
Well, we all do what we must.
Like, do not we all? Do not we all? Yes. But if I'm going to be frank,
Mhm.
I think I think our two houses should be united. I very much think the best way to do that is to have my daughter marry your son.
Mhm.
My other sons are not fit for your daughter, and I, believing from what I know of your background, I'm sure you would prefer Mariella to leave the Reach, perhaps go somewhere grander, or if she was to say the Reach, I'm sure she'll be somewhere better off. I've heard quite a bit about you from a friend of yours.
I hope only good things.
Predominantly, at least if not good, impressive.
I'll have to. Friend.
Like, oh, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Like, but no, I know it's bold and it's early in the celebration, but I feel there's too many clever mouths here, and too many people rely on subtleties.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about that? After all, it could mean quite a lot for both of our houses to be formally united in such a way.
Well, I will have to agree with you there. I will say I can't guarantee anything at the moment.
Oh, my dear Vivienne, I know you must speak. I know you must speak to your husband Tedric. Think about these things, and of course, your son, though a Weirlight, and who he marries is important, is a man now, a man grown, and I'm sure he will, of course, want to make his own decisions. So, do not misinterpret me on that. I do know you cannot give me a guarantee, but I would like to know if you would support the notion if perhaps by the end of these celebrations my daughter was able to convince your son.
If your daughter is able to convince my son, then I shall throw my support behind it.
Good. Good. I had heard, of course, that he had been seen spending time with, of course, Dismere Redwine. Gorgeous girl.
Hair. Beautiful hair.
Very, very odd. Don't know where she gets it. But also with Scarlet Primaris.
Oh, interesting.
Don't play coy. Though it does become you so.
Well, we women have to rely on the talents of the trade, I suppose.
I think nods. Like, I just thought it a little surprising you perhaps encouraging that, what with, who her father is and what he did to our lands.
I did. It is no secret that I favor Henrik. He is my firstborn son, And, I don't know, I am entertaining the thought because during our excursion in King's Landing, it seemed that while the Reach, we are all banding together, it seemed very alone while being falsely accused. And, well, I don't want my son and his future family to be dictated on, well, rumors that were proven falsely and were untrue. To be based off, I don't want him alone in the Reach.
Well, you do know the High Towers were not at King's Landing.
That is true.
Though, it obviously did nothing but benefit your house. Yes, no, I think the Weirlights, hell, I would say you did so well, it's almost as if it was you orchestrated it to be such.
Yeah. I could see why some would think that, but I think it's more a testament to, more of a warning to anyone that would come against us that we will
Yes.
solve it absolutely. And
Yeah, I would
the
say so.
skills of my children and my husband are more of a testament to their own.
I would say so. I mean, the Weirlights have always been a large name of the Reach, and now the Weirlights are known throughout many lands, as the High Towers have been known throughout the lands for generations. Your brother-in-law is a maester, is he not?
Yes.
Quite talented, from what I hear. I would just state that an alliance between our houses, as you have risen, I will just remind you that this is not. I am not a inexperienced lord grabbing at the rising power of a house. I am informing you, Lady Vivian, that while the Weirlights and the High Towers arrangements have always been beneficial, and never in my lifetime would I ever allow any of those arrangements to slip under any circumstance. I have now seen through your family has the power and the standing and the skill, as you said, to withstand anything. And that is something that I find, well, exceptionally alluring. Before the King's Tournament, I would not have really thought to marry Allura to Henrik. And while, yes, defeating the Red Viper in a joust is quite impressive, and all of the deeds done are quite impressive, it's not your newfound popularity that I come to you with this offer, Lady Vivian. I wish you to understand that it is an acknowledgement of your house. Like, after all, most of the times the High Towers merely trade blood with the red wines and the Tyrells, and a few on the outside. But I offer you access to much more. I mean, after all, with Allura, I think, by his side, your son would control quite a lot. Sure, Desmir would give you ships, and Scarlet Primaris has much others, but I did not think I did not know you were so practical with the Primarises. That's very unexpected, but I do respect it. quite a lot. I suppose what I'm offering is a wager. If my daughter can convince your son to, if not favor her, but, well, like her, like, would you back that marriage? I think I think I would, of course, be kind on the bride price. But I would be willing to negotiate personally on what new things can benefit this part of the Reach that is so often overlooked by the growers of the other parts. Food is all nice and good, but what your family and I do is unequivocally what makes the Tyrells most of their wealth. Vivian, can you make an awareness empathy check for me?
I can. I sure can. I actually have that skill. Let me make sure I don't click just awareness. All right. Please. 16.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, degree of success. Vivian, he's speaking like really candidly with you, right? He's talking quietly. His face also is not matching at all what he's saying. He obviously, Baylor is obviously
This dude plays the game.
Yeah, he's obviously does. But you sense this hunger and ambition in him. And it feels really similar to your own.
That's a warning sign.
And you feel he's essentially hinting to you like, shit is about to change, and I'm offering you a to get onto the ground floor of whatever is about to happen.
No, I dig that. Plus, if Henrik does Chiralura, I can still dangle Mariella to a Primarine. Okay, yeah.
Yep, Layden is still there, yeah.
When you got a pair.
You definitely feel like you've just had the inkling of Baylor has something planned, and the utter confidence in the way he's just candidly speaking sort of, I mean, to a lesser person might frighten them, but I'm sure to you more entices.
Is there... Okay, since I get that inkling, would I have to pull him into an intrigue to get more information from him? As to why he's offering
You think at this stage...
It would...
Yeah.
Okay.
If, though, he definitely has implied that, like, if Allura and Henrik get together, then he will probably bring you into his confidence.
Okay.
But at this party, in this moment, under this canopy, you would have to probably intrigue him to find out.
Okay.
Concerning.
I can't too, because there's no guarantee that, like... I mean, if Allura's real good, she could probably get hit.
We'll see.
I want to know the things.
Takes a lot to convince me. Pretty hard to get.
Cerulean eyes, that's all you need.
What color is your hair? That's important too.
Blonde. She's like a platinum blonde.
It's platinum blonde.
Oh.
I don't know if I want to.
So you're not right now. He's not asking you to sign the contract with your soul, right?
Okay.
You're asking if Allura and Henrik hit it off, and that is brought up. Will you support it to your husband?
Yeah. Then you know what?
Yeah. He's not like fucking make it happen, woman.
Make it happen.
Sign this piece of paper.
That's like your son. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. No, I'll accept it because I like where this is going, and I like Baylor. He plays the fucking game.
And he's very handsome.
Also, high tower money.
You gotta stack the good genes. Yeah.
I mean,
I
you
want
met Allura. She was
she's stunning. I want pretty grandbaby. Really, that's like underneath it all. I want pretty grandbaby.
Of course.
Mhm. That is the thing. You know, your Henrik likes blondes, and Scarlet
Mhm.
it does have raven hair.
She does. All right. Cool. Yep.
Mhm.
Well.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so if
Mhm.
you agree, he smiles, goes, excellent. Then, in celebration of our wager, I offer I think a present, the present that I showed you earlier, I think the bottle from my father's reserve, and he just like snaps his finger, and one of your servants comes over and like opens
Yes.
the bottle. He does not look at your servant at any point. But he does pour the glass for you.
Okay.
And oh my god, Vivian, it smells.
Oh. Oh.
You know Lord Hightower, he's ancient and he hoards wine. This bottle is probably a century old at least.
Oh, mama. I just want to sniff it for like. I'll just.
It goes. It has a fine head.
Ooh. And I'm just want to sip it because I want this bottle to last forever because who knows the next time I'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
I last 2 weeks in the house.
It's smooth and epic and beautiful, and you can immediately tell after a sip, pretty alcoholic.
Oh, wow.
You see Baylor sniff it, do the same thing, but he takes a much heartier drink from it.
He's used to this shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Has a lot, but he can drink a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and he goes to toast with you.
I'll toast him back.
I think it goes. I think to the seven, the fates and whims in between them, and the alliances, I think, and riches to be made afterwards. And he toasts.
I got nothing for that one. Hell yeah, that was a good ass toast.
Yeah, and it is there that we will close out on our session. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you guys coming out and playing. Had a lot of fun. I know it was a little slower. Oh, yes. Oh, bit.
I think there's a cat.
Oh, there's a cat. Oh no.
There's a cat there's a cat that almost knocked something over.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is a quite precarious situation.
Oh no.
Well, then we go out on the cliffhanger. Hopefully, the situation will be resolved. Thank you so much, guys, for coming out. Thank you to my players for playing. It means a lot.
My friend.
Yeah, and we'll see how who else we'll meet, and see where this story will continue and possibly conclude. Have a good night. Thank you again.
Good night.